They see you as small and helpless. They see you as just a child. Surprised when they find out that a warrior will soon run wild. Prepare for your greatest moments. Prepare for your finest hour. The dream that you've always dreamed is suddenly.
Welcome to episode 1 of a new series called Make It a Game. In this series, we take other forms of media, or heck, even random ideas, and try to answer the question, could this be made into a video game? For the very first episode, we'll be taking a look at Rooster Teeth's new animated series, RWBY. For those of you who have never seen the RWBY series, here's a quick rundown. RWBY follows a group of students at Beacon Academy, an academy that trains people to fight monsters. There is much more to the story than what I just described, but I think it's time to figure out how we can make the game. Now that we know what the game was based on, we need to figure out what genre it should be. After some thought, I came up with 3 possibilities. The first being an RPG. The reason I came up with this is because RWBY has very deep and complex characters. RPGs usually have a strong focus on the story. Despite the story-centered focus of an RPG, there would be a problem trying to create one based on RWBY. One of the main mechanics of an RPG is to show characters physically growing or learning new moves. It's not finished yet, but there's been no physical growth of characters in RWBY. What would the incentive be for the hours of grinding that are common in an RPG? There wouldn't be one. I'm not saying an RPG couldn't work. I just feel that there are better options. With an RPG out, let's take a look at option 2, a fighting game. Each character in RWBY has a unique fighting style, as well as a large arsenal of techniques. So a fighting game certainly seems plausible. But again, a fighting game wouldn't be true to a central point of RWBY. All the characters in RWBY are divided into teams, each team having a leader. Even if the game was a team-based fighter, I couldn't see the whole each team has a leader aspect integrated very well. For example, Marvel vs. Capcom, it's still one-on-one fighting, just in teams with people in reserve. Even in a game like Tenkaichi Tag Team, where it's more than one character on screen at a time, you're still not giving the other character any sort of direction. There's no sort of command being given from a leader. Yep, I pulled the old save the best for last cliche. To me, the best possible RWBY game would be a 3D beat 'em up. Think about it, each character would have their own techniques, and giving orders to squad mates would be simple and easy. Your team would work together as a single unit. There is one other thing though. While beat 'em up may be the best option for a RWBY game, another question still remains. How do you show the characters interacting with each other? I'd imagine most people would say, just do it through dialogue. I think there's a better way. Include a social aspect similar to Persona. While characters in RWBY may not physically develop, they do develop mentally, and their feelings or ability to work together with another character changes. Compare the footage you're looking at now.
Remember your training wise. Head up, shoulders back, right foot forward, not that forward. Slow your breathing, wait for the right time to strike, and now! Gotcha! Hey, watch it! Excuse me, you attacked out of turn. I could have killed you.
To this footage right here.
Of course you would come up with this idea. Think you can make the shot? Can I?
Of course I can!
social aspect of this game would be a perfect way to show the bond between characters growing. As an incentive to this, maybe you could learn some kind of team attack or unlock special story interactions. For the sake of argument, let's say this becomes one of the best games ever. How do you keep people coming back? How do you create lasting appeal? Well, why not do a Gear-style horde mode? Or a straight-up survival mode? Or heck, pull a Double Dragon and have a fighting game in the main game. In terms of the soundtrack, just include the official RWBY soundtrack with a few game-exclusive songs. Well, that's my idea for a video game based on RWBY. Maybe one day you'll make the game. Thanks for watching.